when it comes up.
Well,
Like it's there in the corner now, Mike. I know we're live. No need to panic or remind me.
Get your stuff together.
That's my response there to you now, Mike. All right, that is my response to you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this evening's show of Mauls, Balls and All, the breakdown. Tonight I'm joined by Matt Boland, good old Scarrow Two-Tone, who you know in the group, as we come referred to as Bishop Brennan, and of course Mike Reedy. Lads, I suppose I come to you. Matt, I'll come to you first on this one, since Leinster were playing the weekend and evening as well, Gregor. Connacht 12, Leinster 17. Connacht leading 12-5 at half-time in the Women's Interpros. Did you see any of that match?
I didn't. So I dipped in and out of it, to be honest. It was on the TV because I was fucking doing other bits and pieces in the house here. But honestly, I honestly thought the Leinster were going to lose that. I mean, Connacht were fucking phenomenal in the first half from what I did see. And yeah, look, credit to Leinster to come back in the second half to get the win, because I thought it was pretty much fucking a done deal, you know, for Connacht. But I really didn't see much more than a few fucking bits and pieces here and there. But it was on in the background, say, because it was running after around a child.
No,
myself, of course.
Yeah, you're chasing your own tail. Len, you didn't see any of that Connacht Leinster game, did you?
I did. I got up last night. I didn't see it on the day, but there was so much rugby on the weekend. I got up last night. It was a great game, actually. It wasn't the Tri-Fest that the Munster-Ulster game was, but it was an entertaining game. And like I tell you, I agree with Matt. Connacht were fucking flying in that first half. Actually, lads, there's so many games this weekend you do want to be taking notes. I had to fucking jot down, because I don't know where I am with the amount of games I watched. But yeah, they. I think Connacht will actually probably be disappointed in themselves that they actually lost that game. It was a very, very fucking tight affair. The two Connacht tries. Did you see the Connacht tries?
I didn't know. I didn't have much.
They were class. Two well-worked tries through the hands, more or less the halfway line, breaking through. Off the top of my head, I can't even fucking remember now who scored them. Here. But Leinster were fairly dogged, and Connacht had their opportunity. Like the last maybe 5-10 minutes, they were more or less camped in the Connacht half 22, and it was Leinster's defence was exceptional, very, very good. They kept them out for the length of time they did. But yeah, like it was a good, entertaining game. And you have to consider then there's so many from all the provinces. You have girls away then with the Rugby World Cup. So, you know, it was still, it's a kind of testament to where the ladies' game is now at this stage. You know, that you can still have two very entertaining games between the provinces, even, you know, in the middle of a World Cup. You know, things have certainly improved from what they were in the dark days a few years ago when there was no money being pumped into it.
Yeah, but thankfully, I think things have changed and they've copped on themselves in the last few years with various contracts and probably, hopefully, better improving pathways as well. Mike,
just on that. Like, one of us should be asking the questions. You're our resident expert on the ladies' game.
Yeah.
And you're asking us questions instead of... And, like, I mean, you played the game at the highest level there, you know, before you had the operation, when you were known as what? Danielle Brosnan.
I told you that in confidence now, Len, all right? I told you that in strict confidence, all right?
But in fairness, we should be asking you the questions, because you know more about this than any of the three was put together, to be quite honest with you. But carry on.
Yeah.
Should we be calling you Danny Brosnan instead of Danny Brosnan?
To be honest, I've heard that joke plenty of times before. It's water off a duck's neck now at this stage. Mike, your thoughts on the Connacht Leinster game? Do you see any of it?
I'm going to be honest with you, Danny. I didn't get to see that game at all. I couldn't get to see it. I did manage to watch the other one, but I couldn't get to see the and there's no highlights either to watch, because they only showed it because of the YouTube.
Because they're only on the YouTube channel. On VTG Car.
Yeah, it's a pity. It's like it is an awful pity. I know, like the schedule is fairly packed again with the World Cup and stuff, but that
Yeah.
you wanted to watch it, you had to watch it on YouTube, which is a bit of a fucking disappointment for the Interpros. You know, they might want to look at that.
Yeah. One thing I want to ask there now is, and we've seen this with the Connacht men's team as well. They had kind of a great 40 minutes. Do you think the same problem was with the women's game on Saturday against Leinster? That they could play a great 40 minutes, then they kind of go off for 40 minutes. From what you saw, then, do you think that's a fair comparison? That it seems to be a bit of a common thing.
Well, look, on that particular game, no.
Yeah.
I think the only really fucking silly mistake was, I don't know, it was maybe 60, 70 minutes, maybe about 70 minutes. Eva Corcoran was taking a restart after the try, after the Leinster try, and she actually kicked the ball over the dead ball line. She fucking hooked the thing down, and obviously back up to the centre for a scrum. But that was the only. They were competitive in the game, and I think, to be honest with you, as I said, it was testament to Leinster's defence. They left the game behind them. And look, in fairness to Leinster, they kept at it and they got that extra try. But no, it wasn't. I wouldn't. In that particular game, it wasn't a 40-minute game. It was a tight game. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
They didn't leave the foot off the pedal. They couldn't finish.
Yeah, Mike, I'll come to you on this one. Ulster 17, Munster 38. 2 points in it at half time, with Munster leading 1917.
Yeah,
what do you think of that game?
I thought it was actually a decent game to watch, to be honest with you. I like Len. I didn't get to see it on Saturday. I was working, but I watched it. I watched it actually today, and I intended to watch the other one as well, but I ran out of time then to watch it because it was the full game I was going to need to watch. No, Munster started to come out of the blocks quick. Actually, Chloe Pierce scored a try early on, or after about 10 minutes, and my local girl Katrina Finn converted, and then she scored herself. And there was a girl Sheeran scored for Ulster, and that Fitzsimons got a couple of tries. She was good.
Yeah.
I thought there was some good performances now. Like for considering we have such a massive amount of ladies away with the World Cup squad, like Len said as well. But it was a decent game. I mean, Munster completely dominated the second half. Ulster didn't score at all in the second half, did they?
No, didn't score anything in the second half.
It finished 38-17, didn't it?
Yeah, so they conceded 19 unanswered points. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was a decent enough game. Yeah, there was some good rugby in it, and there was like there's great handling and the scrums are a bit of a lottery in any rugby game, if we're honest. But I thought the actual Munster Rhino was poor at one stage. We lost or overthrows. There was at least, and but you know something. It was a fair enough game, and 3 tries to 6 tries to 3, and Munster were the better team. Like throughout the whole game, to be fair, and probably deserved to win.
There's a good comment here by Mike Sheedy. He said, Munster girls 3-0-3 wins. Also, Ireland women are doing great work in the Rugby World Cup, which will be coming to later on. Everyone should remember these women only play a few games together, not like our teams are playing together on a more regular basis.
It's actually very, very true, by the way. That is very, very true. Like they're still pretty much, most of those girls will still be amateur. Like you know, the top level, the ones that are away at the World Cup are probably getting paid something. But I would say a lot of those girls don't get paid, don't get anything. You know, they're doing.
Yeah, I'd say unless they're on one of the central contracts or something like that. I think Maeve O was on one of those professional contracts. I'm not sure if she's still on it as well.
She got 2 smashing tries actually on Saturday. She did.
Yeah,
And-
But
she-
even take the money out of it, even just from the amount of games point of view compared to the men's. You know what I mean? Week in, week out in the URC, they don't have the same game time together. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's almost like coming together for an Lions tour or a World Cup. You know what I mean? For the provincials, it's tough. There's not enough games out there for them. To be
Yeah.
quite honest with you, in the absence of a league as such.
Yeah,
I
because-
do like. I did like that. That we competition. They had
Celtic
the
Challenge, yeah.
clovers, and the
Wolfhounds. Clovers and
Wolfhound.
Wolfhounds. Yeah, that's the Celtic Challenge, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that competition though, because that was. I mean, the Irish teams completely dominated it, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's both Scotland and Wales. I think it was a kind of a Celtic challenge. There's no England teams involved.
No.
Now England are on a different level anyway, so it's
Yeah.
League.
Yeah, but now the advantage is we do have a few players playing over in England, like so Neve Jones. There is Adele McMahon. Well, so there Dorothy Wall's playing over there, but she's not at the World Cup because of injury. And I think Aoife Wafer signed for Harlequins recently as well.
Is that
And
right?
she's yeah. And I think she's hoping to be back for one of the later games in the pool stage anyway. So, so we do have players over there. There's probably more players as well. I'm forgetting that are playing with our English club. So I think
Yeah.
maybe that's something internationally some way, and maybe that some of that might be filtering down to the provinces and ways as well. But it's a slow filter.
Yeah.
Led, what do you think of the Ulster-Munster game anyway?
Good game, good result for Munster. That's 3 from 3 bonus point in all 3 games, so they make the final. So yeah, happy enough with that. Look, it's probably a tough ask for Ulster, really, to be honest with you. You know,
Yeah.
they have Brittany Hogan and Fiona Toote.
Yeah.
They're away with the World Cup, so there's 2 big players. They were kind of look. It was nip and tuck. It was try in the first half, as Mike said. Chloe Pearson went over the ball over the first one. Then you had that girl Siobhan Sheeran. She's one powerful unit. Did you watch? Isn't she?
She looks more like a prop, really, or a
Fucking like that, rather in the centre. She is like like a prop, but she can
she's
fucking
rapid,
move.
by the way. She is rapid.
She is fucking.
Yeah,
It's surprising. And then she converted her. Now I don't know. That Danny, you'll probably know more than this. Have you seen this girl play? A lot of this girl playing.
To be honest with you, I haven't had much of a chance to see games over the last 2 weekends because of my father being in hospital and passing away.
Do you know much about her?
Not much, to be honest with you. I'd say she's probably one of them that started coming through recently enough.
Yeah.
But
I was very surprised to see her actually.
Yeah.
She scored a try, and then
Yeah.
she went to take the conversion. I was kind of going, "What the fuck's going on here?"
Yeah.
And then not only that, so you have her, as Mike said, probably like perfect girl, she's like prop, stepping up to take a conversion, and then she's left-footed, and I was going, and she slotted it like, you know what I mean? It was fucking, it was amazing. Like, she was very good. But
Yeah.
Yeah, in fairness,
Brittany
she had
actually scored 4 conversions over the 6, and one of them was from out on the sideline. She played very well again on Saturday.
Yeah.
She was playing at
I'll
12.
tell you something, lads. Just like as well as the World Cup games and the individuals, there's one thing I noticed. There's 2 things I noticed actually. The place kicking from the women is fucking excellent.
Yeah.
There has been
Ryan
some
has been
excellent place kicking from the women, and the other thing is the lack of handling errors in general.
Yeah.
There was a couple of games, but their fucking ball control is far better than the men's. I don't want to hear a word from fucking Dara West, right? He'll get it off for himself. I didn't actually mean it that way. But no, it is. It's like, it's just, they're handling. I don't know. Maybe it's, look, I actually don't know why, but it's fucking fairly impressive. It was my take from all the women's games that I watched over the weekend was just handling skills were at a very, very decent level, and place kicking was also very good. But yeah, just getting back to the Munster game. Yeah, look, it was nip and tuck, and actually that girl Sheeran, she missed a conversion just before half time to level it up. So it was like 17-19 or whatever it was.
She also missed a kickable penalty as well.
She did, yeah. But like the second half was a different story. Munster were dominant for most of the second half. There's actually what you call it? Fucking Jesus, my head. Who had the intercept try for Munster?
Oh, jeez, I know. I can't think of it now. There's another one.
Lana McInerney.
McInerney, that's exactly what
it was very much like Eve Higgins' try. 1 million miles off Eve Higgins' try for Ireland. It was a loose pass, picked it up, and they let them field with it. Again, another great try. And actually, that intercept. Just on that, I know it was one of the commentators mentioned on the Eve Higgins try. They thought she might have been slightly offside, or been a slight question of her being offside. Now, the Fitzsimmons try was very similar. It was an intercept in the Munster game.
Yeah. And that was a fantastic try.
Did you think that was offside?
Close enough from what I saw of it. I didn't get a chance to watch it back, but close enough.
I thought it was more than close now.
There was no replays, you see. There's no replays.
Yeah.
There's no replays. And the fucking was there actually a TMO because we didn't. There was actually, but we didn't hear too much from her. But yeah, she did. She did look like Fitzsimmons did look relative. In my opinion, she looked a good bit offside when she intercepted. But look, the try stood. That's all about it. But look, as I said, 3 from 3. So.
There were the 2 yellow cards in the game, and they were probably right decisions. They were both high tackles, close line tackles, so one either for either side. Yeah,
but I'd say the match is more or less over. Then I'd say by the time we cards game goes. Matt, any thoughts on the Ulster Munster game from Saturday?
I didn't see that game at all, so.
So I suppose we've come around a bit in it anyway. Like I did kind of catch bits and pieces of that game here.
Bishop Len said, and
what did you say?
He agrees that you and Bishop Brennan are Mike and you. But speaking of tries, Joe,
I'm not going to say a word. I'm not going to mention YouTube highlights or anything like that. I won't mention YouTube highlights. I wouldn't have known about YouTube highlights. Who put me onto them? I can't fucking remember. Never mind, doesn't matter.
No, but I did catch some of that.
Unfortunately, you can't get highlights in the women's Interpro, so
yeah. It's full match or not.
I watched full match. Fast forward match. Fast forward to the scores. Oh
yeah, 20 minutes before.
I go back a minute then. But no, I did see some of that games here and there, and there was one very good tackle there by Fitzsimmons, I think. I think it was McInerney or someone that was going in for the corner, and deep in the second half, and Joe Fitzsimmons of Ulster literally got tackling just between the 5 different line and the try line, and got her into touch. And I was kind of thinking, Jesus, that was close enough to being another score for Munster. But what you're saying there then about the place kicking and the handling, that's come on an awful lot over the last 2 or 3 years. Wherever they're putting in with coaching and stuff like that between the now it's international level, but say provincial level as well. They're making things that is better. I think if you look at some of the games from beforehand, you're just seeing a lot more. The errors would be there a lot more. The misses probably a little bit worse, but that's part and parcel of the game in total anyway, I suppose, and how much we have improved. Len, I'll come to you on this one now. Ireland 42, Japan 14. 28-7 Ireland at half-time. What do you make of that game?
Brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant game. Real, very enjoyable game. My wife now has zero interest in rugby. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Probably because...
Touché.
Yeah. Well, I think And I did drag her up to Thomond Park for years, mainly as a designated driver, so I could have a few points. But anyway, never. That's beside the point. That might have put her off. But the game was on, and now she's into sports, she's into athletics and stuff like that. But she watched a bit of it, and she was kind of going, Jesus, like this is at a fairly skillful level. And what she was comparing it to was, to be quite honest with you, don't lose your shit in a mat, right?
He's about to lose his shit. He's about to lose his shit.
And his Wi-Fi is frozen. He'd be off of me already. He's not saying a word. You can't even hear me. Look, we should carry on. I remember when Ireland, Waterford were in the Camogie final there a few years ago, and she went up with my son to watch it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's his Wi-Fi or did he do that intentionally, but either way, I shall carry on. I'm only making a point to a relative sport, right?
He put a message saying his Wi-Fi was backed up.
He was. But no, but she was just saying the vast fucking gap between the Camogie and the men's hurling. It was just vast. There's no comparison between the two games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But her point was that watching the women's rugby, it was very entertaining, very watchable, and the gap was nowhere as near as say. And again, there's not a lot of sports where women. Tennis is probably one of the kind of sports where women compete sort of on a par. That's it's watchable and stuff. But no, she was impressed with it, and the game itself, I thought, great game, brilliant result, great start. Look, as we said, you have to touch on Eve Higgins's try was fucking fantastic. You know what I mean? And her pace. I thought Amy Lee Costigan is an absolute another flyer. Very enjoyable to watch. Then she was at the centre of an awful lot of things there, and that break she made for Davine Parsons' try, in clash. She held off on the pass to the last second, drawn in defenders. And I think there was 6 tries. Am I right in saying there was
6 tries,
six different players?
Yeah.
There was 6 different players, wasn't it?
No, 5. No, it's 5, I think, because I think Eve Higgins got 2.
Was it? Okay.
No, she didn't. She gave it to Fiona two.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then, in all fairness, then Dan O'Brien then slotted all 6 of her conversions.
Yeah.
So probably the only thing that we lost our composure a bit in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Things went a little bit tits up. Look, the game was well won at that stage, but I think it was probably as much to do with Monaghan was after getting the yellow card, so that threw things a little bit, and then we had a few substitutions, which often happens in any game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Near the end, you start bringing in, things get a bit scattered. So, but the only thing is, I suppose, if we want to go deep in the competition, we need to stay tuned in for the full 80. But that would be the only couple of little issues with the line out. Maybe it wasn't, and a couple of the restarts we weren't great on. But look, that's only a matter of fine tuning the line out. I don't think the line out is broken by any manner of means. The restart was kind of a positioning thing more than anything else. But look, fair play to the girls. It's Spain up next, and judging by what the Black Ferns done to Spain, I can't see huge opposition. I think we should. We play as well as we did at the weekend. I think we should come away with a win handily out of that one.
Yeah. Mike, your thoughts on the Ireland-Japan game?
I thought we saw an outstanding performance. I mean, like Glenn said, apart from the lineout was a little bit of a concern for me because we lost 4 of our own lineouts in a row. 2 overthrows and 2 crooked lineouts, and I thought it was but we scored some outstanding tries, and I think our entire back line are out. Every one of them, by the way, are brilliant players. We've got 2 fantastic wingers. Aoife Dalton and Eve Higgins in the centre. You couldn't have 2 better players. Aoife Dalton never stops tackling. She's one of the best tacklers I've ever seen in rugby. She's unbelievable. And Stacey Flood at full back is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant under a high ball. She has the full package. we have a really good team, lads. I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited about it. I think the fact that Dan O'Brien is now scoring most of her kicks or conversions, and we're making decisions. We're making good decisions. If we start the line out, and like Len said, we didn't really. The game was won at half time, to be honest. It did give us a bit of a squeaky bum when they scored a try early in the second half.
Yeah.
However, we completely nullified that quickly with Eve Higgins' break. See, that we were under pressure then when Eve Higgins got that ball. What a try, by the way! She is an absolutely phenomenal player, phenomenal. And our two wingers are fantastic. We have good players all over the park. Brittany Hogan tackled. She's involved in everything. See at the breakdown, every breakdown she's involved. She's heavily involved. Always in trying to poach, and she did poach a couple of balls. Shoot. We're missing definitely Wall. What's her name?
Dorothy Wall.
Dorothy.
Wall. I mean, she's a big loss for the line out. She's a serious loss for the line out. But
and the fact that we're missing Aaron King as well.
And
in the back row.
Obviously Aoife Wafer. We have a glut of back row players because Brittany Hogan has stepped in seamlessly, like in at number 8. Now, when Aoife Wafer comes back,
she's been played 8 there a few times already. She's been played 8 there from us this year.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, well, Aoife's out. I mean, they kind of shared it in the Six Nations. The two of them, or so that they shared number 8 short. And Aoife got a bit of a break, and it's exciting, lads. I'm excited. I think we're going to give anybody a game. And now I watched the All Blacks Spain game as well, or the Black Ferns, and it's hard to know how good or how bad the Black Ferns are. I mean, they played the last 15-20 minutes with only 13 players.
13 players,
And they still scored a try, but it was great to see Spain get a try at the end. I was really delighted that they did get a try, and the girl got timed out taking the bloody conversion. It was an easy conversion, relatively easy anyway, and she should have, and she did put it between the posts, but obviously it was timed out, so it wasn't given.
Yeah,
but we'll beat Spain, no question about it. We'll beat Spain. They're not good. They're not good. They're not. We have a way stronger pack.
Yeah,
we're better all over the park. We're better than them all over the park. And I think the Black Ferns will be concerned. I think they'll be concerned going into our game. By the way, if because the winner of that is going to win the group. Simple as that.
Yeah. No, Mike, I'll be honest with you. We've met Spain twice in the last 4 years. We've lost them once in 2021 in a World Cup qualifier, albeit almost completely different team and different group, different coach in as well. And we beat them in 2023 as well. There was less than a score in both games.
But I'll tell you what, by the way, I'll be shocked if we don't put at least 40 points on them.
Yeah, I think, look, history-wise, I don't think...
This is a completely different Irish entity.
Yeah,
completely different.
But
even in the space of 1 year, we were like between the last two Six Nations, there was an unbelievable difference between the 2 years for Irish women's rugby.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Look, put it this way, lads. Japan beat us 3 years ago, 22.
Yeah.
We knocked them off the park for the weekend, so.
And we could have easily scored. We could have easily scored another at least two, maybe 3 tries on Saturday or Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
And we didn't need to, but we'll beat Spain. We'll put at least 40 points on Spain. No question for me. No question.
We'll come to that later on that. Matt, what are your thoughts on the Ireland-Japan game? Ireland winning at 42-14.
That was as good a performance you've seen from that Ireland women's team. They were fucking class. From the moment they kicked off, they just looked like they were going to win that game. And I can't even pick one of the girls out that didn't have a fucking quality game. They were all 8+ out of 10.
Yeah.
for me. You know,
Right.
standing out performances like Amy Lee Costigan on the win, Bevan Parsons, Brittany Hogan, fucking Eve Higgins, Fiona Chute had a great game as well, and
Yeah.
got on. That's her first start, first competitive start, and fucking got a try as well, albeit a super break from Eve Higgins again, but an offload pass through to Fiona Chute was literally on her shoulder, and they were just unbelievable. And I was actually kind of disappointed. Like, I'm not disappointed, but I had to say, like, Japan, they're not an easy team to beat, to be fair, and they did come back in the second half, and I thought that was credit to them as well, because they are a good team, some quality players there, and they're fast,
They are.
and they can break away very quickly and punish any team, you know. And when they got 2 tries kind of quick in quick succession, but you know, you got to say credit to the girls, because they just knuckled down and said, no, that's it now, we'll fucking not have them come back anymore, and they just motored on again. But fucking class performance, absolute class. And I tell you, Scott Man has done massive things with that team.
Oh,
Absolutely. One question I want to ask, guys. No, I know some of you have touched on it, but the Eve Higgins try. Japan were knocking on our door. They're close enough to our 5-yard line, and balls coughed up. And Eve Higgins turned it over. Ran the length of the pitch, scored what will probably be on any World Cup highlight reel now, you know, for that kind of try run the pitch. How much of a key moment was that for
Massive.
Ireland to have confidence?
Huge
And
turning point.
yeah,
Huge turning
It-
point.
look,
we were
that
under
was-
pressure. We were, you know, there was a turning point there. If Japan had got a try out of where they were in that position at that stage of the game, it would have been a huge turning point, and it gave us a nice cushion. It gave us a cushion then. And look, in fairness, I don't know if, like, even if Eve Higgins hadn't scored a try, I think our defense was excellent. I know they got the couple tries, but Jesus Christ, there was nobody, as Matt said, there was nobody wanting on that pitch. Every one of them put in 100% shift on the day. You know what I mean? There was just, they played as, you know, it was as if that team has you know, had been playing together for a full Six Nations. And had another series of something in from between it. They were just so fucking switched on. It was,
and you got to remember,
you know,
that's not even a full strength Ireland.
No, it's not even full. And I think it was. Didn't Greg McWilliams say that, you know, Japan could actually hurt us on the break? He was slightly worried about that. You know what I mean? So credit to Ireland, they didn't give them an opportunity to do that. You know?
That was a key moment in the game, because not only were Japan banging on the door, but they had been for quite some time.
Yeah, in the build up to
the Ireland defence was just incredible for not letting them in any further. But then that point where Eve Higgins and she had a lot of work to do. She grabbed that ball into 22 and burst 2 tackles. And if she had been tackled, there was no way she was getting there. But she burst through the 2 tackles and ran the length of the pitch then as well to score. And that was it then. That was pretty much nailing the coffin for Japan.
Matt, Dave CD here says only 4 fucks from Matt in 3 minutes. He's getting modest us. Matt, we're going to have to ask you to up your fuck content there now, alright? To every second word, please.
Fuck off, the ladies, these fucking pricks.
That's fair enough. Matt, Japan had no set piece. Sure, in the lineup, Japan would jump and hit Sam Monaghan on the knee.
yeah.
Well, sometimes Peter Burke doesn't speak the truth all the time, but he's fairly spot on there.
Jesus,
No.
We lost 4 lineouts in a row.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, that was true. That was through our own fault. Neve overthrew 2 of them, and 2 of them were crooked.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's something that really does need to be spot on. Like, you know, see, when you come to play the Black Ferns, we need to have that, and we will have it right, lads. We'll have it right, because there's only a small timing issue there. Is all like, you know.
Yeah, it's a tweak, Mike, rather than it's not. I don't think the lineout's a disaster. It just needs to be tweaked.
No, just a tweak. Yeah. But the Eve Higgins try, Danny, you were asking, by the way, what a piece of individual skill and individual brilliance, and she is so fast. There was like the Japanese. Greg said last week, the Japan, they are fast players, and not one of them could anywhere near her. By the way, nowhere near her.
Yeah,
And just a few phases before that, Japan almost got in our left corner.
yeah.
And Stacey Flood. It's one of the best try-saving tackles I've ever seen from in any rugby match. It was she was behind, by the way. How she got around and made that tackle was absolutely incredible. What a player she is.
Yeah, I think that maybe so that could be from the sevens background as well, because Flood and Higgins are and were seven players as well recently. So maybe a lot of that is coming in from there as well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them players on that Ireland squad who were sevens players.
Yeah.
So
Emily Costigan is a sevens player as well.
Bevan Parsons.
Yeah, Bevan Parsons.
Eve Higgins as well.
Some lads, by the way, they were brilliant, both of them. They complement each other. That was the difference between the Irish women's team and the Irish men's team. The ball, the women's team are putting the ball out to the wings. They're using their wingers, and the wingers are able to stay out on their wings. But also for Bevan Parsons' try, obviously Emily Costigan came in field and ran right through the centre of the field, like to the right wing, and played it out to Bevan for her try. It was
Did you see her work off the ball though? Bevan Parsons work off the ball.
Oh, she's so quick.
Like her off the ball stuff. Like every kickoff, she was the first Ireland player, and literally her speed was so good that as soon as the Japan player had caught the ball and landed, she nailed him.
It was on. Yeah,
and it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, but I've seen Parsons play live against, was it Scotland there earlier on this month, and you can see her off the ball work in both attack and defense, because like even when she was running there, she'd nearly run a parallel line to try giving her player space, because they kind of know how dangerous she is as a player. So they're kind of like
they're tracking her.
Yeah, they're tracking her because they're trying to, one or two players trying to keep an eye on her, because like if you give her enough space, she's gone. She is not good. So she kind of knows she's a threat, and she kind of tries to work that to the team's advantage, not to her advantage, the team's advantage, which I think is huge.
See when we played Canada last week or a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
See the difference. Like there was a couple of issues in that game where Bevan Parsons was having to come in field to get ball.
Yeah.
And like that was completely ironed out for Saturday's game. I know the opposition was completely different.
Yeah.
The quality of the opposition was a lot different. However, she is so like pure raw power. You're not stopping her, by the way. If she's getting anywhere close to that line, and it was the same. Emily Costigan just fended off a couple of defenders when she scored her try in the very first score of the game.
Yeah.
Outstanding, by the way. What a performance! So proud of him. So I'm excited. I really am now.
Yeah. A question here from Peter Burke: would the panel agree that the Japan game was a training session, and the Spain game is another training session, but the real test is against New Zealand? And lads, I hope, but I doubt it, we will beat them, and fingers crossed I'm wrong. Len, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think the first two games are kind of
I wouldn't say they were training sessions.
Is your name Len, is it?
Yeah.
Mike, is your name fucking Len, is it?
Oh, sorry,
No,
I thought you said men. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Mike, carry on with your point. Go on, I'll jump in there. Go on. Carry on.
I apologise unreservedly.
No, that's all right.
But no,
he doesn't.
Mike,
He's a
finish
bollock.
your
He doesn't
point.
give a
Go on.
shit.
I don't agree that was a training session. I don't. I think it was a proper test match.
Yeah.
Japan went at us like at the beginning of the second half, and they scored us another second try.
Yeah.
And they and but for Eve Higgins' interception and scoring that length of the field try, or we were under the cosh there a little bit. So I wouldn't say it was a training session. I think we were a lot better than Japan, and I think we are a lot better than
Spain.
than Spain. Now the acid test will undoubtedly be the Black Ferns, but it will equally be the acid test for them. I mean, make no mistake about it, they are concerned. They are concerned about this Irish team. We beat them the last time we played them.
Yeah, and that was only about a year ago.
Yeah, that was in Canada a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Len, your thoughts on Joe Peter saying that Japan and Spain look like might be training sessions, and it'll be the Black Ferns be the real test. Would you agree with that, or?
I don't need to. Mike gave my opinion for me.
It's oh my.
It's okay. It's okay. I know what you were. I know what you're going to say. I thought I'd jump in there and save you the
Exactly. Thanks, Mike. I'll go back to having a point. Look very much like Mike. No, I don't agree that Japan, because I think Japan are a trend, as Greg McWilliams said. They and that game could have turned. Now we were excellent, and it didn't happen. I wouldn't consider it a training session. Spain maybe more so on the back of the performance. It wasn't great. So I think if they want to experiment, that might be the place to do it. But I think get scores on the board and get comfortable before we start taking the bollocks, to be quite honest with you. And look, the Black Ferns is going to be the big one. I'd love to see us win it. But look, I don't think they're probably not the biggest threat in the competition, because I presume we all saw England play the opener.
Yeah, I saw bits of it. All right, yeah. Fun fact, fun fact about the Ireland and New Zealand: they've met 3 times in the women's competition. 2014, I think, another time in 2017, I think, anyway, and last year. Ireland are leading, though that's the meetings, 2 wins to 1. So we're actually doing better than New Zealand. Yeah, we've beaten them twice out in 3 games. And that's all the times we faced New Zealand in the women's competition 3 times, and we've beaten them twice. So it's fairly big, I suppose, to be ahead of New Zealand in that kind of respect.
As Mike said, I'd say they're as equally worried about beating us as we are of them. So I'd say it's a 50-50 game if we keep up the standard that we did on Saturday.
Yeah, but Peter
they also lost 2 players with injury. They lost 2 players to injury at the end in that game, and they hadn't got subs to bring on.
Yeah,
and so we don't know what the status of those 2 players is going to be. I mean, it's a long way to travel from New Zealand if they have to bring in players. I don't know what. One of them looked quite badly injured. She was taken off in a stretcher.
Yeah, never want to see him for any player.
No.
Yeah. That's what's called Portia Woodman was obviously came back in for her first game in a good while. Scored her 49 test tries for the Black Ferns. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's scary amount of tries. Matt, do you think that the Japan and possibly Spain games, do you think what Peter was saying is they look like more like training sessions for the big one against the Black Ferns?
Well, Peter had the cheek to fucking say Mike was talking bollocks when he's clearly talking bollocks. Because there was no way that Japan game was ever a training session. They had the potential to be very dangerous, and they proved it in that second half. Yeah. And only for that Eve Higgins intercept and try, that could have been a very fucking different scoreline, because it would have given the Japanese the momentum. It would have put them within a score of Ireland, and would have put the doubt in Ireland's head. So it could have been a very different outcome. Now, in saying that, I would imagine that Ireland would have kicked on anyway and saw the game out, but it was the potential that it could have gone a completely different way. Now, in fairness, the Spain game probably will more than likely be similar to a training exercise, I would imagine. So he's not entirely wrong, but he's 50% wrong.
Listen, I give Spain the respect they're due. They're in this competition, and if we go into games thinking we've nothing to do when you turn up, that's when you come unstuck in any sport, any game you ever play.
Look, you're right, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, in fairness.
I'm trying to make a case here for him.
I partially agree with Mike in that one. And partially agree.
Absolutely. Like, when you don't respect a team, that's when you generally you end up. It's the knife you you get stabbed with you, or the
Yeah.
parent, whatever that fucking saying is, anyway. But
Rocky Perry
yeah,
shot.
the Rocky Persian, yeah, exactly. But yeah, they need to give. They need to give. What's that bollocks saying? 50% of the time,
Yeah.
Matt works is 30% of the time. He's a fucking
Mm.
bollocks, isn't he? Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
know,
they need to give Spain the respect. But I do think if they play well, they will beat them comfortably. Like.
Yeah,
I'm expecting us to put at least 40 to 40 points on Spain, at least.
Well, that'd be a
but
training exercise then, Mike, wouldn't
you
it?
have to understand New Zealand in the World Cup are a completely different beast altogether.
Well, they
Whereas
are.
cement,
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean,
And like this is
silver
New
first,
Zealand team. This is New Zealand team looking for their third straight World Cup on the bounce.
yeah.
Take
And
that into
let's be
consideration.
honest. England have gone into all for the last 2 World Cups as favourites to win it, and faltered in both of them. Now, that's something, by the way, that must concern them, because
Yeah.
they were the best team definitely in the last World Cup, and they threw it. I think they threw it away in the final.
That was on New Zealand as well. And home advantage counts, especially
Yeah.
to a team like that in the final. You have to understand that as well.
They fucking they
Cast your
looked
mind back to the
impressive in
men's
Europe,
World
in all
Cup
fairness.
there, where England got knocked out of their own World Cup in the group stages. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
means nothing.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
but
It doesn't.
But nine times out of 10, 60% of the time it works every time.
Well, I'll tell you
Yeah,
one
that's
thing.
it,
Here's a team that nobody was talking about prior to South Africa. They put 60 points or 69 points on who did they beat?
Samoa, was it? No.
Small, yeah.
Yesterday,
No, Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah, here, listen.
And,
So
come
much
on.
fucking, so much fucking rugby. We'd that
And
in the rugby championship.
I watched a bit of that as
Inter
well.
Pros, Women World Cup. Fucking hell.
I watched the first half of that and I thought it was a decent enough game. And then they ran riot in the second half. I didn't watch the second half.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't mind, but they pulled a bit of a Razzie as well. They emptied the entire bench at the same time.
Of course they did.
They emptied the entire bench. They pulled the Razzie. Maybe it's South Africa.
do you know what's
Razzie
funny?
probably has an influence of some sort in that fucking team as well, I guarantee you.
Yeah. Maybe Mrs. Erasmus is part of the coaching ticket or something, you know, or Mrs. Ninny Bar or something like that, maybe.
Erasmus.
Yeah.
People wonder why I can't warm to South African rugby. I just can't. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to be like.
What's this, Mike?
I just can't warm to him as
South African rugby.
as a rugby
You never
player.
mentioned this before.
No.
Shut up,
Stop
Lane,
doing
Stop
that,
winding
Mike.
them up.
Yeah.
They just do shit that wind me up. I don't. Everything they do winds me fucking up.
There's a good question here now about Catherine Keegan. She said, would we risk Rayford versus
No.
Spain?
No.
No.
Well, if you know something, lads, Scott Beaton, we can't make that decision. It depends on her level of fitness. Unless she's 100% fit, she should be nowhere near it.
No.
Yeah.
Because
No.
you
Exactly.
can't risk.
If she's not fit, put her on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting anyway, definitely.
Yeah, I would say I would like to see her come off the bench against
I
Spain.
would love that. If listen,
Yeah,
but Danny, unless she's fit.
Yeah, but like see, Danny looks like the barman in the scene from The Shining when he's serving Jack Nicholson in the hotel bar. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that now.
Is that a compliment or is that?
Of course it's a compliment. Anything said to me like that's a compliment. It's obvious it's a compliment, lads. Don't worry about it. Lads, I would ask for your predictions on the games coming up the weekend. We have the finals day of the Inter Pros on Saturday. First match up is the repeat of all repeats of the round 2 fixtures. So, Michael, come to you first. Connacht versus Ulster. Who do you think will win that? Now, Connacht did beat them in round 2.
God, it's a 50-50 game, but you know, Connacht, like their own worst, or like the lads were like you were saying, they're their own worst enemy at times. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Connacht.
Len, Connacht versus Ulster. Who do you think?
Yeah, I'd be more confident. I think Connacht will take that, definitely.
Matt, Connacht versus Ulster the weekend. What way do you see that one going?
Yeah, I think Connacht will take that. It'd be close enough, but I'd say Connacht by maybe a score or 10 points or whatever.
All right, I'll come back to you in this one, Matt. Munster versus Leinster. Who do you think will win that one?
Look, I mean, I'm going to be real here. I think it's going to be Munster.
Ooh, you think? All right,
Yeah, well,
Len?
you gotta go real. Like you gotta be realistic.
I know. I think Leinster might sneak this one, to be honest with you.
Ooh, you think?
I do me bollocks. No, Leinster's going to win this one.
Fucking prick, yeah.
It'll be 4 out of 4.
Mike, what way do you think that will go?
I think Munster will sneak it as well. I think Munster will win it, yeah. I watched the first game they played, and Munster dominated that game and deserved to win it.
Yeah.
And,
couple of predictions in here as well. Anyway, Gregor is saying Connacht to win and Munster to win. Let's see. Mike Sheedy as well saying Munster to win as well against Leinster. Now, I suppose the big one will go to you in this one first. Then Ireland versus Spain. Who do you think will win that one?
Look, I honestly think. I don't know about Mike's 40 points on him, but
Yeah.
you know, as I said, if Spain performed the way they did in the last game, and Ireland also performed the way they did in their first game, I think Ireland will definitely take this. And look, hopefully there's not a banana skin. I don't have to eat my words, but yeah, I think it should be, you know, there should be 2 or 3 scores in it anyway, definitely.
Yeah. Mike, what way do you see the Ireland Spain game going?
Oh, I have no hesitation in saying we're going to beat Spain by a comfortable margin. At least, I think we will score at least 40 points in that game again, and because I don't see them as being as strong as Japan, being honest.
Now, hang on a second, Mike. You said we were going to beat them by 40 points.
No, I said we were going to put 40 points on them. I didn't say we were going to beat them by 40 points. But go on, if you go on to go by 40 points, then
I don't know. Fucking roll the tape back there, Danny. Fuck's sake.
I said we put 40 points on them.
Yeah, I have to bring this up, Joe. If you don't either score 40 points or beat them by 40 points, they'll have
I'll
to
be
bring
watching
that.
this on Spotify later, so I'll fucking check now, Mike.
Right then, I'll tell you what, they're going to beat them by 40 points. How's that? I'll fucking save you the job of looking anything up.
Yeah, he said, no, there you go. He said he will beat them by 40 points.
I'm saying that now. I'm changing my my.
A 40-point margin. Okay, we'll beat them by a 40-point margin.
Yeah.
He's just going back to what he said originally.
No, I said we 40 points on them. Fucking, you look it up, by the way. Look it up.
He's a little senile at times.
We make a decision, for fuck's sake.
Look it up. I'm making the decision. We're going to put beat by 40 points.
Fucking rein him in, will you?
Look, even Gregor Galway says here, Megan Augusta, Mike is not on the fence. We beat Spain 40 points.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, Christ, Mike. So we beat them by 40 points.
Yeah, we'll beat them by 40 points. Go on.
Right, this one's clear.
Conviction.
I'm actually with Matt on this one. When somebody says we'll put 40 points on them, to me that's a 40-point margin. Not that we'll score 40 points. So I'll actually, it's how you interpret it. So I'd actually be
if you put 40 points on somebody, you score fucking 40 points against them.
But then if they score 39 points, like it's only a 1-point margin.
Okay,
so what you're
Mike,
saying is bollocks.
Now
I agree with Peter Burke. You're talking total bollocks.
We won't beat him by 40 points then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I feel it'll be a lot tighter game than that. But then again, I'm just going past results. So
it depends on the team that's picked. To be fair, if he goes strong, which he may not, you know, he may rest some of them for the Kiwi game. Yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
that's true.
So we'll see what team he picks. Lads, we brought on good replacements. That's another thing that's standing for Ireland. We've got good cover coming off the bench.
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask that question. All right, apart from Dana O'Brien at 10, we seem to have a fair amount of talent in the rest of the pitch and stuff. How good was our depth in certain areas, and how weak do you think it is in others? What do you think our strongest area is and our weakest area in that Ireland women's team is?
Well, I would say the weakest area is 10 probably the cover there. young girl from Munster is a bit off it at the moment. She's not quite up to that standard just yet. Trina Finn, she's heading. She's only 19 years of age. She's heading in the right direction, and she has a good future. But I every other position on the pitch, we're okay. We're fine.
Yeah.
Maloney, what's her name? Maloney.
Maloney, yeah. McDonald, yeah.
What a performance she put in when she came on Sunday. Absolutely, she was fucking steaming into everything. So she was fantastic player. We're strong in every other position, lads. Outside of 10 for me.
Then, what do you think our strongest and weakest area in that women's team is?
Again, I'd be with Mike. We seem to have pretty decent depth across the board.
Yeah.
And probably again 10 and why is sorry, I don't know what the fuck's flying around me there. Like it always seems to be in most teams, it seems to be fucking 10 is the issue, isn't it? It's just so hard to produce good 10s. But look, hopefully, like Dan O'Brien was absolutely exceptional at the weekend. She was just,
100% record.
Let's do it.
100% record and cool. But like even her infield play was absolutely fucking like she was everywhere. She was covering like I'd agree with Mike. It's kind of a bit of a drop off then. So fingers crossed.
In fairness, that's almost the case with every rugby team that you.
That's what I just said. That always seems to be the issue with every rugby team. Men's across the board, 10 is always the biggest issue. There's always seems to be the biggest gap between first pick and second.
You've got two excellent 10s and there's huge debate about it. It's one or the other. And Burke saying here he actually agrees with Mike regarding the 10 situation for Ireland. Matt, your opinion?
Let's hope Dan O'Brien is able to play every game and she's fine and we can give maybe we can rest her towards the end of the Spanish game, or maybe we won't play her at all.
Yeah, the thing is with a fucking 10.
Did you not ask me a question there, Danny? No.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I was, because I hadn't come to Matt yet.
Which is Len, it was Mike actually that interrupted first.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
that's what we do.
Yeah. Now, Matt, what do you think our strongest and weakest position on that women's team is?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, you have to say, firstly, because I didn't mention her earlier on, Dan O'Brien, 100% kicking record, 6 out of 6. She nearly had a flawless performance, and I think she only made one mistake where she had one kick that went out on the full, and that was it. Yeah. But as the lads have said, I think 10 is probably the biggest weakness that they have. Everywhere else seems to be comfortable enough. I didn't get to give my score predictions either. You forgot to come to me on that. I reckon Ireland will probably win by 25, maybe 30 points in that game. Yeah. So.
Will that be a 25-30 point margin, or they're going to put 25?
They will win by 25 or 30 points. If you weren't listening to me because you fucked
you wanted
off
fucking
right camera there to get something.
I knew exactly what you said, Matt.
I know you did. I was fucking winding you up.
I wouldn't do that, Matt.
Just clear up something there by Mike Sheedy. He said that Munster versus Leicester, I think it's in Cork. No, both games are in Donnybrook Park in Dublin. So it's a double header there in that game anyway, yeah. In that stadium on Saturday.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, Saturday, yeah. This finals round. Now, to be honest with you, I'd have loved if the interprovincials were 6 rounds and basically do the league table there, where every team plays home and away. But for some reason, they don't seem to be bothered doing that sort of thing with paying the whole, as far as I'm concerned.
I'd say.
Maybe, yeah. I suppose because a lot of those players will be going to the AIL's teams as well. So maybe just those kind of issues as well anyway. Lads, I suppose we will call it tonight. I know we're at 59 minutes and stuff like that, so we're just under the hour. But Mike Reedy, Bishop Len, Matt, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's been
great. As always, lads.
Yeah,
thanks very much, lads. And thanks everybody for watching, joining in. And
yeah, so that, of course, we're on Spotify and YouTube as well anyway.
Make sure you like and subscribe and download and do all that shit as well, lads.
Yeah, and various reactions and comments. Much appreciated. Lads, until next one.
Would be fucking really helpful. We need comments on Spotify.
Yeah, I suppose. But so I suppose since the show's not live there and it is a very interactive show, I can understand my comments might be so, but I suppose maybe putting them in would be nice as well, and it would be
Even
appreciated.
an old thumbs up or a fucking good show, lads, or whatever.
Yeah,
Just
lads, until
get it up there.
yeah, lads, until next Monday night, I will see you. Take care. Been a pleasure.
All the
Good
best.
luck, lads.